A 34-year-old man sat behind a small wooden microphone desk in Catalonia. He reached into his pocket. His wife handed him a folded white paper napkin. He pressed the paper against his eyes. He tried to speak. No sound came out. 80 reporters sat in complete silence. They did not type. They did not move. 21 years earlier, a single paper napkin had brought him to this club. Now another paper napkin was catching his tears. He was the greatest footballer who ever lived, and he was being forced to leave. We will return to that quiet press room in August 2021. But to understand why a grown man wept over a paper napkin, you must leave Spain behind. You must go back to a dusty neighborhood in central Argentina, to a house where a mother cleaned floors to buy synthetic hormones, and to a doctor who pointed to a tiny 11-year-old boy and made a chilling prediction. Rosario is a port city on the Paraná River, 300 kilometers north of Buenos Aires. It is a city of steel mills, grain docks, and working-class pride. On June 24, 1987, Lionel Andrés Messi was born inside the Garibaldi Hospital. His father, Jorge, worked long shifts as a section supervisor at the Hacendar steel mill. His mother, Celia, worked in a magnet manufacturing workshop. She cleaned residential floors in the evenings for extra cash. There was no extreme poverty in the Messi household. They had food on the table, but every peso was accounted for. Football was not a hobby in Rosario. It was a religion. When Leo was 4 years old, his grandmother, Celia Oliveira, took him to the Grandoli local club.
The field was dry dirt and broken glass. The local coach, Salvador Aparicio, needed one more player for the 6-year-old team. He looked at 4-year-old Leo. He shook his head. Leo was too tiny. He looked like a breeze would blow him over. Grandmother Celia stepped onto the field. She looked Aparicio in the eye. She said, "Put him on. He will save your game." Aparicio gave in. He put the boy on the right wing. The ball rolled to Leo's left foot. He did not look at his boots. He did not look at the defenders. He ran straight through 5 older boys. He scored twice in 10 minutes. From that afternoon, Grandmother Celia accompanied him to every training session. When she died in 1998, 9-year-old Leo was devastated. Ever since that day, every time he scores, he raises 2 index fingers toward the sky.
It is his private message to Celia. In 1994, Leo joined the Newell's Old Boys Youth Academy. His team became known across Argentina as the Machine of '87. They played for 4 years. They barely lost a single match. Opposing parents accused Newell's of playing an older child. Leo had to show his birth certificate before matches. Then, in 1998, 11-year-old Leo stopped growing. His teammates grew taller. Leo remained at 1 meter and 27 centimeters. His parents took him to Dr. Diego Schwartzstein. The endocrinologist ran blood tests. The diagnosis came back cold: growth hormone deficiency. Leo's body was not producing growth hormone. Without treatment, he would never grow taller than 140 centimeters. Professional sports would be impossible. The cure existed: synthetic human growth hormone. But it required daily subcutaneous injections into his legs. Every night for 3 years, little Leo prepared the syringe himself. He inserted the needle into his thighs, one night in the right leg, the next night in the left leg. He never cried. He carried his small cooler bag with syringes to sleepovers. The treatment cost $900 every month. Jorge Messi's steel factory insurance covered the bills for 2 years. Then the Argentine economic collapse struck in 1999. The factory cut medical benefits. Newell's old boys promised to pay for the syringes. They sent small payments of 100 pesos. Then the payments stopped. Jorge Messi took his son to River Plate in Buenos Aires. The coaches watched Leo for 20 minutes. They were stunned. They wanted him immediately. But River Plate board members refused to cover $900 a month for medical bills. Jorge Messi stood on the concrete steps outside the stadium. He looked at his 11-year-old boy holding his little cooler bag. The Argentina football system had closed its doors. He made a desperate decision. He called a contact in Spain. In September 2000, 13-year-old Leo arrived in Barcelona. He was small, silent, and pale. Carles Reixach was the technical director of FC Barcelona. He walked up to the pitch at La Masia to watch a scrimmage. Leo received the ball. He dribbled past 4 full-grown academy defenders. Reixach stopped walking. He turned to the coaches. He said, "We have to sign him right now." But the Barcelona board hesitated. Signing a 13-year-old foreign boy was unprecedented. Paying for foreign medical treatments violated club traditions. Months passed. Jorge Messi grew furious. On December 14, 2000, Reixach met agent Horacio Gaggioli and scout Josep Maria Minguella at the Pompeia Tennis Club. Jorge Messi issued an ultimatum. If Barcelona did not sign a contract today, they were flying home to Argentina. Reixach did not have an official club paper. He called a waiter. He took a white cloth napkin from the table. He took out a blue ballpoint pen. He wrote out a binding contract on the paper napkin. He promised that FC Barcelona would sign Lionel Messi under agreed amounts. He signed his name. That paper napkin saved Lionel Messi's career. Barcelona paid for the synthetic hormone injections. Leo's legs grew stronger. He grew to 1 meter and 69 centimeters. But bureaucratic nightmare hit immediately. FIFA rules blocked international transfers of minors. Leo could not play official Spanish league matches for nearly a whole year. He sat in the stands every weekend watching his teammates. He stayed in his bedroom at night. He cried into his pillow so his father would not hear him. He refused to give up. In November 2003, 16-year-old Leo sat on the first-team bench. Barcelona traveled to Portugal to play Porto in a friendly match. A young Jose Mourinho was manager of Porto. Manager Frank Rijkaard sent Leo onto the pitch in the 75th minute. Leo created 2 scoring chances in 15 minutes. Mourinho took notes in his notebook. 11 months later, on October 16, 2004, Leo made his official La Liga debut against Espanyol. He wore shirt number 30. He was 17 years, 3 months, and 22 days old. Ronaldinho took the teenager under his wing. The Brazilian superstar gave Leo the locker next to his. On May 1, 2005, Barcelona played Albacete. Ronaldinho scooped a gentle chip pass over the defense. Leo ran onto it. He lobbed the goalkeeper. The referee called offside. 2 minutes later, Ronaldinho did the exact same chip pass. Leo ran onto it again. He lobbed goalkeeper Raul Valbuena again. The ball bounced into the net. Ronaldinho ran over. He crouched down. 17-year-old Leo jumped on Ronaldinho's back. The legend was carrying the future king.
On March 10, 2007, 19-year-old Leo faced Real Madrid at Camp Nou. Barcelona went down 3 times. Leo scored 3 times. He completed a brilliant hat trick in the 90th minute. It was his first hat trick in professional football, against Real Madrid. In the summer of 2008, Pep Guardiola took over as Barcelona manager. He made radical changes. He sold Deco and Ronaldinho. He made Leo the central axis of his team. On May 2, 2009, Barcelona traveled to the Santiago Bernabeu. 10 hours before kickoff, Guardiola called Leo into his office. He showed him video clips of Real Madrid defenders Metzelder and Cannavaro. Guardiola noticed a massive gap between Madrid's midfield and defense. Guardiola told Leo, "Tomorrow you are not playing on the wing.
You are playing as a false nine. You drop deep into midfield. When their center backs follow you, Samuel Eto'o and Thierry Henry sprint into the empty space." The tactic destroyed Real Madrid. Barcelona won 6-2. 25 days later, Barcelona faced Manchester United in the Champions League final in Rome. In the 70th minute, Xavi chipped a cross into the box. Leo leaped high into the air. He hung above Rio Ferdinand. He struck a looping header past Edwin van der Sar. As Leo hit the grass, his right Adidas boot popped off. He picked up his shoe. He ran to the corner flag. He kissed his boot over and over. Barcelona won the treble. In 2012, Leo did something no human footballer had ever done. He scored 91 goals in 69 matches in a single calendar year. He broke Gerd Muller's 40-year-old record. He collected 4 consecutive Ballon d'Or trophies. He seemed invincible. But his nation was about to break his heart. Argentine fans had a complicated relationship with Leo. He had left Argentina at 13. He spoke with a Spanish lisp at times. They said he was a Catalan in an Argentine shirt. They called him cold. They said he did not sing the national anthem with passion. The pressure became unbearable. In July 2014, Argentina reached the World Cup final in Rio de Janeiro against Germany. Mario Götze scored in the 113th minute. Leo walked past the golden trophy. He stared at it. He did not touch it. The photo of his hollow gaze went viral across the world. 1 year later, Argentina lost the 2015 Copa America final to Chile on penalties. 1 year after that, in June 2016, Argentina played Chile again in the Copa America Centenario final in New Jersey. The match went to a penalty shootout. Leo stepped up to take the first penalty. He fired his shot high over the crossbar into the stands. Argentina lost their 3rd consecutive major final in 3 years. Leo sat alone on the team bus after the match. He wept uncontrollably. In the stadium hallway, reporters surrounded him. His eyes were red. He said, "For me, the national team is over. I've done all I can. It hurts not to be a champion." He resigned from the national team at 29 years old. The nation panicked. Thousands of fans marched in the streets of Buenos Aires in the rain. School children wrote him letters. President Mauricio Macri called him personally. Leo reversed his decision 2 months later. He returned to carry Argentina to the 2018 World Cup. But the team fell apart in Russia. In Barcelona, dark clouds were gathering too. Mismanagement by club president Josep Maria Bartomeu drained Barcelona's finances. The squad aged. On August 14, 2020, Barcelona suffered a humiliating 8-2 defeat against Bayern Munich in Lisbon. Leo stood in the dressing room at halftime. His arms rested on his knees. He looked completely defeated. He sent a burofax to the club demanding to leave. Bartomeu refused. Leo chose not to take his boyhood club to court. He stayed for one final season. In the summer of 2021, Juan Laporta won the Barcelona presidency. He promised to renew Leo's contract. Leo took a 50% pay cut to fit within La Liga salary regulations. He went on vacation to Miami, feeling secure. On August 5, 2021, Leo returned to Barcelona to sign his new contract. He walked into Laporta's office. Laporta looked down at the table. He told Leo that La Liga financial fair play limits made the contract impossible. Barcelona could not register him. Leo was stunned. He had not prepared a goodbye. He had not packed his house. 3 days later, on August 8, 2021, Leo walked into the press room at Camp Nou. His teammates sat in the front row. Leo stepped to the microphone. He broke down before speaking a word. Antonella passed him a white tissue from the front row. He wiped his nose and eyes. He said, "I grew up here. I gave everything for this shirt, from the first day to the last. I was not ready for this." He left for Paris Saint-Germain 2 days later. The golden era in Catalonia was over. Many believed his career would end in quiet decline in Paris. They were wrong. In July 2021, just weeks before leaving Barcelona, Leo led Argentina to the Copa America trophy in Brazil. They beat Brazil 1-0 at the Maracanã. After the final whistle, his teammates did not celebrate together. They ran across the pitch and threw 34-year-old Leo into the air. He had finally won a trophy for his country. The stage was set for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Argentina suffered a shocking opening match defeat to Saudi Arabia. Media outlets mocked them. Leo gathered the players in the dressing room. He told the press, "Believe in us. We will not leave you stranded." Argentina won 5 consecutive matches to reach the final. In the semifinal against Croatia, 35-year-old Leo sprinted down the right wing. He was chased by Josko Guardiola, the tournament's best 20-year-old defender. Leo stopped dead near the touchline. He turned Guardiola inside out 3 times. He glided into the penalty box and delivered a perfect assist to Julian Alvarez. On December 18, 2022, 88,000 fans packed Lusail Stadium for the World Cup final against France. Leo scored a penalty in the 23rd minute. Angel Di Maria added a second. Argentina controlled the game for 80 minutes. Then, Kylian Mbappe scored twice in 90 seconds. The match went to extra time. In the 108th minute, Lautaro Martinez struck a shot. Hugo Lloris parried it. Leo reacted instantly. He bundled the ball over the line with his right foot. 3-2. Mbappe scored another penalty in the 118th minute. 3-3. The World Cup final went to penalties. Leo stepped up first for Argentina. He strolled up to the ball with calm composure. He rolled a gentle shot into the bottom right corner past Lloris. Emiliano Martinez saved Kingsley Coman's penalty. Gonzalo Montiel stepped up for the decisive kick. Montiel sent Lloris the wrong way. The ball hit the net. Leo fell to his knees on the center circle turf. His teammates sprinted and piled on top of him. 35 years after his birth in Rosario, 34 years after grandmother Celia took him to Grandoli, the small boy with the hormone deficiency had conquered the world. Emir of Qatar placed a black and gold bisht robe over Leo's shoulders. Leo walked up to the World Cup trophy. He held it with both hands. He did a little shimmy step before lifting it into the night sky. If you watch a Lionel Messi match today in Miami, you will notice something unusual in the first 10 minutes. He does not sprint. He does not press defenders. He walks. He walks slowly across the grass. He looks at the left back's positioning. He checks how far the center backs stand from each other. He measures the grass. He scans the pitch like a grand master studying a chessboard. Then, in a fraction of a second, he explodes into space. He never needed physical power. He never needed to be tall. A napkin in a tennis club saved his legs. But his mind was already 30 steps ahead of everyone else. Was Lionel Messi's 2012 record of 91 goals the peak of football history? Or was his 2022 World Cup run in Qatar a greater achievement? Leave your pick in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel for more deep sports stories, and click the video on screen right now to watch the story of Pedri.